Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Asia Webb and I like to film a lot of college, lifestyle, and vlog and productivity content. So if you like videos like that, I hope you stick around because today we're going to be talking about sorority life, sorority recruitment, some tips, tricks, and just like my point of view on sorority life. I want to just go into some background really quickly on why I want to film this video, because if you did not know, a lot of people have been put on the Bama Rush or the Bama TikTok, sorority TikTok, Alabama University Rush Week. And I've seen a lot of people of color and black people who are very intrigued on the sorority process. So I thought I'd sit down and talk about it and give my point of view as being a black female who attends a PWI who also rushed and joined a white sorority. So that is the background. But before we get into it, don't forget to follow me on my socials. They be linked on the screen and down below in the description. If you like this video and this commentary content, then give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so I can continue filming more like this. I'm also talk a lot, so I'm going to get right into the video, and I'm going to try to add chapters. So if you feel like what I'm saying is irrelevant, you can just skip ahead and watch what you feel comfortable watching. So let's get. So I want to mention I tried to film this video like 3 times already. So yeah. So I just want to start off with saying this. I want to just give a quick disclaimer because a lot of people feel like when you're a black person, you shouldn't invite yourself into white people's spaces and only stay in the black spaces that were solely created for you. For example, like a lot of people strongly feel like black students shouldn't attend PWIs because that space is not created for them. And some people also feel very strongly like black people shouldn't rush or join white sororities or fraternities because that space was never created for them. And I just want to point out, do whatever makes you happy, because at the end of the day, it's your life and your choices, and you're going to be the one who has to deal with those decisions. So if you like it, tell them to, I was about to say something, but tell them to F off, okay? Because what they should be telling you, if you like it, I love it, okay? So that is my disclaimer. Alrighty, so my first point is, let's break down the difference between being in a white sorority and a black sorority. So white sororities are known as the PHC, the Panhellenic Council, and then you have black sororities and fraternities, which is under the NPHC, which is the non-Panhellenic Council. I can never say them right. But the black sororities are known for being the Divine Nine. You know, your Kappa, your Alphas, your AKAs, your Deltas, and I can't think of the rest of them. And then we have a lot of white sororities. There's a lot. I believe there's 26 white sororities, but these are going to be like your Pi Beta Phis. It's that kind of stuff. So yeah, white sororities were basically founded off of like schools, and they wanted to create a sisterhood. And you know, black sororities are built off the foundation of solely creating a space for them because they were not allowed and welcome in these white spaces. So black sororities were created to be that safe space for black people or people of color, and their sororities are typically based off the history, why they were created, who was the founders, and things like that. So that is my background. I don't know too much knowledge about the Divine Nine period because I've never tried to join a black sorority, and my school does not offer any of the Divine Nine on my campus. So that is my breakdown of that. Alright, so my next point is to talk about sorority recruitment and basically give the breakdown of sorority recruitment. Sorority recruitment can last anywhere from 4 days to a week, and it depends on how big and how small your school is. I think a lot of people were very intrigued and interested in Alabama Rush TikTok because it was a side they never seen before. And I think people were really intrigued on how much effort really goes into joining these white sororities and joining these white spaces. So I go go to a small school, so our rush process is 4 days, but most of these days can be up to 1 to 3 days worth of a rush process. So here is the basic timeline of joining a sorority. You will sign up, you'll join a sorority, and you get put down on the list. You pay whatever fee, and then they give you whatever shirts or whatever. Depends on your school. I know for my school, I think it was like $15 to join, and we got a shirt, we got a bracelet, and that was that. And then you also would get, well, when I was rushing, there was called a row gamma, but you would basically have like your group leader who will be with all the P&Ms. And P&Ms I'm going to be using because these are known as potential new members, and these are the people who are rushing to join these sororities. So on the first night is usually called open house night, and this is when every girl goes and visit every sister, every sorority, aka they're called houses. So you would go to every house and you would talk to multiple girls within multiple houses, and you would get a feel for the houses and how the girls are within that sorority. Then at the end of the night, what we do for the rush process is called a mutual selection process. So that means you will rank every house that you went in from your top to I don't care to really get invited back. And then on the other side, the current members who are looking for potential new members, P&Ms, will rank the girls and decide like if they will fit with the standards and the membership pillars that they would like. And we rank them, and usually we use a pros and cons system. If the selection is mutual, you will get invited back the next day to the house. If you are invited back the next day, the second day, the second process part of rush recruitment is also known as philanthropy night. Philanthropy night is when you go back to all the houses that you were selected back for, and you learn about each individual sorority's philanthropy. So you would sit there and you would talk, and they would tell you about the philanthropy and what they do to give back to the community and help serve the community, not only on the national level but also in the community level. So where I go to school at, not only do we do something national, but we also do philanthropy work within the community that we're in, the county that we're in. So you will also end up talking to more sisters about that night as well, and they will try to engage and get to know how you feel about their philanthropy. And then again, at the end of the night, another mutual selection process. You'll rank the houses on the P&M side, and on the current member side, they will rank the girls. And then if you're invited back, the third night, or the third step into sorority rush recruitment, is called Perfect Night. Perfect Night is the final crackdown on like trying to decide like, is this the house I want to be? Is this where I want to have my home away from home? Is these the girls I want to call my sisters? Is this really the time and the effort I want to put in right now with these girls? So you do more talking, but this talking is usually more in depth. They're asking you a lot more in depth and more kind of like personal questions to crack into you, because now they really need to find girls who's gonna match their membership pillars and have those qualities, and they feel like will actually be a good fit, not just to be a face of the sorority, but to also be like, if somebody was to come to you, they'd be like, dang, she is a perfect example of whoever sorority that you join. So after that happens, once again, there's another mutual selection process, and this is the final mutual selection process. The P&Ms, they rank, and the current members, they rank. The next and final day, the fourth day, is bid day. And bid day is where you get your sorority houses bids. So usually they come in these envelopes, and the girls would sit down and they would scream out, and they be like, and you can open your bids in 3, 2, 1. You open up and you find out which house you got into, and usually this is where you see all the girls so excited, like, yeah, I got into AO Pi, oh, I got into Zeta 2 Alpha, or I got in Chi O, or I got in this sorority, that sorority, this, that, and the third. And usually you end up like running to your houses, and then they would teach you all kinds of stuff. So after you run to your houses and everything, bed day is this huge, big event. Like, the sororities are showing out, they plan things, there's food and all kinds of stuff. So you can start to get to know your sisters and everything. So that is how the sorority selection process works if you guys were wondering. Alrighty, so here's some pros and cons to the whole rush selection, mutual selection process. I wish somebody would have told me when I rushed, but I get into my experience completely later. But one is, don't be nervous, because these girls is just as nervous as you are, especially if they're sophomores, because usually this is their first time actually doing a formal recruitment. And for them, they're trying to figure out what things to ask you, what things to say, because as a current member, there is some things that we can and cannot say to you, because if we do, we will get fined. So we're like kind of also walking on eggshells to make sure I'm not saying the wrong thing, to make sure we're not making promises. So if you're nervous, don't be. And ask questions, just like they ask you questions. If you're peeing them, you can ask them questions. Ask them questions about how they feel about sorority life and recruitment, and why they chose this sorority, what made it feel like home. You can ask them kind of questions, and I highly suggest you ask them questions. Don't let them just ask you questions, because it makes them also feel like they're doing all the work. And if that's really a house you want to get into, you want to make the conversation as easygoing as possible. So don't be nervous. My second thing is that I wish I would have known as well is, you can get dropped. So basically what it means to get dropped from recruitment is that none of the houses, not none of them, but it means that houses has dropped you, which means that they do not think that you will be a good fit to join a sorority based off of their membership pillars and things like that. So you can get dropped. I did not know that when I first went through recruitment, and when I got dropped and it was like, yeah, you don't have to come back for rush or recruitment at all, I was kind of upset and I was sad, because I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know you can get dropped from sorority. So I was hurt, because I was like, in my head I was thinking, did I do something wrong? And the reality is, if you get dropped from a house, you did not do nothing wrong, because there's a lot of things behind the scenes that goes into sorority recruitment, like how many girls can you take back, financial obligations, membership pillars, and how can you better the sorority. So a lot of things go into play when it comes down to that. My third thing is to don't worry too much about the things you wear. You do not have to go and spend tons and tons of money and drop a bag to impress these girls. Come as yourself, come as who you are. Because at the end of the day, they want the real version of you. There's no reason to put on this persona and pretend to be somebody that you're not. Be who you are, because it's great to have different personalities in sororities, and it's great because you challenge everybody's ideals and their thoughts, and that's what makes the sorority better, and that's what makes you a better person. You don't want to have like 10 blonde girls and like one brunette. Like, you want diversity in there. You want to show that you are inclusive and you respect people who have differences, whether it's race, whether it's just hair, how you dress, financials, anything like that, even grades. So I would definitely say that. What else? I don't remember what number I am on. But my next thing is also on top of that is, don't try to be like anybody else. Be yourself. I can tell you for a fact, girls, we can tell when you're trying to be somebody that you're not. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Alrighty, so let's talk about my experience doing sorority recruitment, and my experience as being a black girl, a person of color at a PWI, joining a sorority. So if you don't know, I did sorority rush twice. I made a whole vlog about it. I don't remember which vlog it is, but if I can find it, I will insert it here about how I felt about sorority recruitment. It's a whole 25-minute long video, so if you want to watch it, it's there for you, and it'll be linked down below in the description box. But I did formal and informal recruitment, so let me break down the difference between formal and informal recruitment. So formal recruitment is the big whole sororities, where all the sororities are together and you're doing the rush. It's the whole process that I explained in the beginning. The second one is called informal recruitment because it's not formal at all. It's very informal. It's like how we're talking. Well, we're not really talking, but it's like if you were talking with a friend and you were just having an interaction. So this is called, I don't know if I can say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. It's called COB. COB is where you are currently actively looking for potential new members, but COB occurs when the current members of that chapter are saying, hey, I think so and so would be a good fit for this sorority, and you would tell them, and basically an email or something, or somebody in that sorority would come to you and be like, hey, I think you'd be a good fit for this sorority. You want to come to one of these like events that we're having? And then they would talk to you and everything, and they would ask, are you interested? And then if you are, you will continue to talk to multiple different girls. Usually these are people who sit like on the COB committee, and these are people who are the ones who are actively always looking for new members. And then they would just send you a bid, and they would be like, hey, we want to invite you back, and we think you'd be a good fit. Do you want to join a sorority? And it'd be yes or no. So I did informal recruitment because if you know, when I did formal recruitment, I got dropped, okay? Sis was heartbroken. I was saying it's like, yeah. But I decided, like, after doing rush and everything, I enjoyed myself. I had a great time doing formal rush, and I decided, hey, like, sorority, like, after doing all of that, I really realized, like, joining sorority is something I really wanted to do. So I did informal sorority recruitment, and of course it was online because of COVID. So I seen them post something on the sorority Instagram page, and it was like a talk with the sororities about like your majors or something. So I went, and I think I talked to somebody from Alpha Chi Omega. Also, I might say AKO because that's also shortened for them. And I think I talked to somebody from Zeta 2 Alpha. But when I did formal recruitment, once you do formal recruitment and you get dropped, you kind of know which houses you really like and which houses you don't. So my top was AKO. So when I went to them, I was really just focused on talking to the AKO people because I already knew what I liked. And because I did formal recruitment, I already knew everything I needed to know about their philanthropies, which is another thing I meant to mention. Do your research on these sororities that your schools offer because, yeah, you want to do your own research. You don't want to be asking them everything. On a side note, back on track. So I did that, and then I think they had like a pajama thing or something. Again, I had another event, and I attended via Zoom. I not dressed up, did my makeup, had the pajamas on and everything. And I think it was me and a couple other girls who showed up, and we just all sit there and chit chatted. And then I FaceTime with like three other members, and then like I think like less than like a couple days later, I got an email saying I got an email with my bed, and it was like, hey, we like you, we love you, we love for you to come back and join AKO. And it was like, do you accept or decline your bid? And I was like, I accept. And then that's how I got in, and that was my rush process. Honestly, I can't speak for every school, and I can only speak for my own school and my own self-experience, but I did not experience no kind of backlash for being black and running to rush. Actually, when I did formal recruitment, I was not the only black girl who rushed, and that was surprising to me. I was so surprised to see other black girls there who wanted to join a sorority because, one, it made me feel like I am not alone, and for two, it was just nice seeing other black girls there. It like filled my heart because it was like, wow, like to me, like that was just beautiful. Also too, I did not face no kind of racism or discrimination or racial slurs or anything like that. And once again, that might depend on what school you go to and who are the current members in that sorority. But for me, I did not experience any of that. If anything, I experienced a lot of acceptance when I was doing formal and informal recruitment. To the girls telling me how pretty I was, to them complimenting me on my makeup, my hair, even when I was wearing my hair out curly, even when after I joined and I would pop up in a meeting with my bonnets, and I wore different kind of bonnets, I got compliments on how pretty my bonnets was. It was just things like that that made me feel like I felt like truly accepted, because I'm not gonna lie, as being a black person, I've always been told that you're Oreo, or you're always trying to cater to white people, or you dress white, you talk white, you act white, you watch all these white people. And for the longest, that used to hurt my feelings, because I never felt like from the black community, I never felt like I was accepted, because I am somebody who has lighter skin. I might not be the lightest, but I'm also not the darkest. I might not have the most blackest features, but I'm somebody who has the financial means and gain and privilege to cater to white people if I needed to. And it kind of just hurt my feelings, because like, I'm comfortable in my own skin and I love who I am. But when you always hear like how people just like black people view you as being white, it's hurtful. Like, that really hurts my feelings sometimes, because it's just like, wow, like, how can you act the color, you know? It just makes me mad. I get upset sometimes, because it's just like, I feel like I'm never enough. Like, I feel like I would never be enough for the black community, and I just feel like that's part of the reason also why I never attended the HBCU, because I feel like I would never be accepted. And I know people say, well, you find your own crowd, you find your own way, but I just think that would never happen for me. I just feel like I would never truly be accepted. Also, yeah, it's just a lot, y'all. I'm over here crying. I'm in the Walmart parking lot, y'all, because I'm waiting for my boyfriend to go and break. I'm in the Walmart parking lot, so. And I'm wearing the makeup. Like, what is going on? But I just wanted to sit down and film this video, because I feel like I needed to get this off my chest. But yeah, like I was saying, I just feel like I was never really accepted by the black community. I will realize, like, to be in a sorority, it is a privilege, because you have to pay these money and these fees, and the fees and how much money you pay each semester just determines on how big or how little your school goes to. I know, like, for Alabama, I seen somebody who's actually like talking about how much money they have to spend, and I know they had to spend, like, said it was over $1,000 just for one semester, and I could not imagine spending that much money. I can just say it don't cost that much, okay? Don't cost that much. Also, I also want to like put another disclaimer. My parents do not pay for any of my sorority stuff or anything. I pay for all of that all out of my own money. Even though my parents would probably pay it if I asked, I don't. I pay that myself, because it's something I wanted to do. And my parents already helped me pay for my college tuition as it is, and I just would not want to add that burden on to them. Also, because I just strongly feel like it's my responsibility. I feel like that's pretty much all I can say about sorority recruitment. If you want me to do another video on like what kind of outfits to wear, conversation starters, what topics talk about, things to stay away from, makeup you should wear, jewelry and things like that for recruitment, please let me know down below, because I would definitely do it. But yeah, I just want to say I really had a great time sitting down in the car just talking to you guys about this, because like I was so intrigued when I was on Bama Rush TikTok and seeing so many other people of color and black people being intrigued on how it works. So yeah, if you made it this far, as always, thank you so much for staying to the very end. I love you to the moon and back. As always, be safe, stay positive, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.